Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. How you all doing? Hope you're doing good. My name is Cynthia. If you're watching me for the first time, you're welcome to the family. Please subscribe if you've not done that. Also, don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you get to know whenever I upload new video. In today's video, we're going to be drafting a corset pattern. So this is a requested video. So these are the items we need for this tutorial. We need a pattern paper, you need a curve ruler or French curve ruler, you need the small scissors, marker, and the tape measurement. So let's get started. First, we will draft the basic pattern. From there, we will create our corset. The shoulder measurement is 15 inches divided by 2 is 7.5 inches. So this is 7.5 inches. Right on the 7.5 inches, I will come down by 1 inch. So that's my shoulder slope. So I'll connect the shoulder slope to the neckline. So right from the shoulder slope, I will take the round armhole measurement. The round armhole measurement is 15 inches divided by 2 is 7.5 inches. I'll mark 7.5 inches here. So I'll still check here, place 7.5 inches here. So I'll still place the shoulder measurement here. I will make a straight line here. So this is now the chest and that's the upper bust measurement. I'll place my tape ruler so and look for the midpoint of this 7.5 inches. So this is the midpoint, 3 inches and 3/4. We are drafting out the front pattern. So right from this midpoint, I will go inside by 1/2 inch. Taking the vertical measurement, I'll be making the armhole later on. So this is the chest line. We like to take the neckline, the neck depth. It depends on how deep you want it. So for this one, we don't want to show any cleavage. So right from the shoulder, I'll make it 6.5 inches. So I'll mark this 6.5 inches here. So this is the neck depth. And from shoulder to bust is 10 inches. From shoulder to under bust is 14 inches. And from shoulder to waist is 17 inches. So I will make a vertical line. I will make a line here. This is the bust line. This is under bust measurement. So this is under bust measurement. And this is the waist measurement. Alright. So I would like to finish off this upper part before we go further. So right on the chest line here, I will place the bust measurement. The bust measurement is 40 inches divided by 4 is 10 inches. Not 10 inches here. This is the armhole. I will look for the midpoint of the armhole. This is the midpoint. Right on this midpoint, I will go inside by 1/2 inch. So I'm drafting out the front pattern. And connect it right from here across the 1/2 inch. So I will take it like so. So next is for us to place the bust span measurement. The bust span is 8 inches. Bust span simply means from one bust point to the other bust point. So the bust span I'm working with is 8 inches divided by 2 is 4 inches. So I add 1/2 inch for sewing allowance. So this is the waistline. I will just mark 4.5 inches all the way to the upper part. Four 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 1.5. So I will take it all the way to the neckline. I will make a straight line here. So this is our bust point. I will measure the gap between the bust and the under bust. So what I have here is 4 inches. I will rotate this 4 inches round. That's the radius. So that 4 inches will form the cup. So you just take it round. I'll just make a dot round. Just be rotating it round. I'm still rotating the 4 inches. You rotate it round. This will form the cup. So that is it for the round bust. You can connect it if you like, but just leave it like that. So what we are going to do now is to impute the dart. This is the bust line. I will step up by 1 inch and step down by 1 inch. I will go to under bust line, mark 1 inch on this side and mark 1 inch on this side. I will go to the waistline and mark 1 inch here and mark 1 inch here. So I'm actually doing the same thing to the waistline. So I'll make a straight line here. So right from the under bust to the waistline, 1 inch. And this side is 1 inch as well. What we are going to do is to connect this 1 inch to meet this 1 inch below the bust line. I'll place my French curve like this. If you like, you can use your hand to curve it. Don't necessarily need a French curve. And connect it. So you make sure you curve it. So I'll do the same thing for this side. So I will go to this upper part here and mark 1 inch on this side and mark 1 inch on this side. This is the neckline. I will mark 1 inch on this side and mark 1 inch on this side. So I will connect this 1 inch to meet this 1 inch above the bust point. Cover it on this side also. If your corset is longer than this, because this is up to the waist measurement, if it's up to the hip measurement, you will still mark the same 1 inch. You will do the same thing there. You still mark 1 inch on this side and mark 1 inch on this side. So this is the neckline. This is the upper bust measurement or chest line. This is the bust line. This is the under bust. and this is the waistline. So the next thing we are going to do is to get the center front of the corset. This is the bust line. I will go up by 2 inches. It depends on how deep you want the center front of the corset to be. You can go up by 1 inch, you can go up by 1.5 inches. But for me, right from the bust point, I will go up by 2 inches. So this is 2 inches. Right on these 2 inches, I will go inside by 3/4 of an inch. So this 3/4 of an inch I'm marking here is the space between one cup to the other cup. You can mark 1/2 inch, you can mark 1 inch, but don't exceed more than 1 inch. So I'll mark a 3/4 of an inch here. I will connect this to this underbust measurement. We'll be going out of the line, we'll be shifting inside a little bit. So right from this, that's the underbust measurement. I will connect it to this 0.75, that is a 3/4 of an inch. So I will connect it like so. This is the neckline, so this is the 2 inches, and I went inside by 0.75. So I connected it right from the underbust here to meet this one. Don't worry about the dots. So what we are going to do now is to connect this to the neckline. So curve it to the neckline. Alright, so we'll be working on this side now. You know this other side of the bust is fuller than this side. So we'll be adding 1/2 inch to this other part. Shall we go to the bust line and add 1/2 inch to it? So that the cup will accommodate the bust. So we'll go ahead and curve this 1/2 inch to this underbust. You can see, so we shifted out from the dots here. We went inside here and shifted out from the dots. You make sure you mark this 1/2 inch up. So I'll go ahead and connect it from here to the neckline here. You'll still make a curve. So we're almost done. What we are going to do is to place the circumference measurement. We already placed the chest measurement. Go ahead and place the bust measurement, under bust, and the waistline. So the bust measurement is 40 inches. Divided by 4 is 10 inches, which I've already marked here earlier. Remember, we marked 2 inches up here. So these 2 inches, I will add these 2 inches up because we're cutting these 2 inches out. So I'll add it back. I'll mark 2 inches here. I will go to the underbust measurement and place the circumference measurement. The underbust measurement I'm working with is 34 inches. Divided by 4 is 8.5. So I'll mark 8.5 here. I will still add up these 2 inches. So this is the space. I will measure the space and still add it up. I will do the same thing to the waistline. The underbust and the waistline are basically the same thing. I will bring it down right from the underbust to the waistline. So I will connect it from here to here and here. So I didn't add sewing allowance to it. If you like, you can add sewing allowance to it now, or you add it while cutting out the fabric. I will just add the sewing allowance. I'm adding sewing allowance of 1.5 inches. You can decide not to add it now. You can add the sewing allowance while transferring the pattern to the fabric. So go ahead and then cut it out. That's that's it for the pattern. We'll go ahead and cut it out. If you are making a yoke and corset, you can use this other part. You cut it out and use this other part for the yoke. Cut this part out. So I'll cut this part out. So you don't mistake each other. So this is, make sure you number it. This is one and this is the second one. So let me join it together, see how it's going to look. So it will look like this after joining them together. I use the sellotape to hold them together. This is the front part. We'll go ahead and draft the back pattern. Let's set this aside. So as you can see, I've marked out some lines here. So this space here is 1.5 inches. This is for zipper allowance. So this line here is from shoulder to bust, 10 inches. And from shoulder to waist is 17 inches. This is the waistline. So we'll go ahead and place the rest of the measurement. The shoulder measurement is 7.5 inches. So mark 7.5 inches here. We'll take 1 inch for shoulder slope. I'll connect the 1 inch to the neckline. The back is very easy. Right from the shoulder slope, we'll take half of the armhole measurement, which is 7.5 inches. So make sure this is 7.5 inches as well. Alright. So I'll make a straight line here. So this is now my chest line. I'll look for the midpoint of the back. So I'll place the bust measurement. A quarter of the bust measurement is 10 inches. I'll connect it right from here. Alright, so we'll go ahead and place the neckline. So I'll make the back neckline 6.5 inches. Make a line here. Go ahead and impute the that measurement. The bust span is 8 inches, divided by 2 is 4 inches, plus half inch sewing allowance. That's 4.5 inches. I will mark this 4.5 inches all the way to the chest line. I'll make a line here. I'll mark half inch on this side and mark half inch on this side. I will connect this 1/2 inch to the chest line. So I want to create the neckline. You can create any neckline of your choice. Remember, for the back side I went up by 2 inches. Right from the bust line I will still go up. So I didn't mark the underbust measurement because there is no underbust at the back side. Right from the bust measurement I will go up by 2 inches. This is the bust measurement. I will still do the same thing on this side. I will go up by 2 inches. So this is my neckline. You can make any neckline of your choice. You can decide to curve it, decide to make it straight. So I'll just connect the neckline. So you can go a bit up or go down if you want to, but this is how I want to leave it. Just make a little bit up. Let's curve it a little bit here. Let's curve it a bit here. This is the chest line. So this is the bust line. And this is the waist. This is the waistline. So this line I will just take it up to the neckline. I will take that line to the neckline. So go ahead and place the rest of the circumference measurement. So I already marked the bust measurement here. I'll bring it down to the bust line. The quarter of the waist measurement is 8.5 inches. So I will add that measurement back 1 inch. I will connect it to the waistline. Like I said in the other one, you can decide not to add your sewing allowance to it. You can add the sewing allowance to it while cutting out the fabric. So it's better you add the sewing allowance to the front. Sometimes you might forget, so I will just add the sewing allowance to it. I will add 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. And they add 1.5 inches here also. Connect it. You can cut this out for the yoke. If you're making a yoke corset, you can decide to make a round neckline or V neckline. It's up to you. I will go to the waistline here and mark 1/2 inch inside. The reason I'm marking 1/2 inch inside is just to you have a very flat and a nice zip. So I'll connect it like so. You still take it out from here. You cut it out from here. So you still mark the 1/2 inch here away from this side. Yeah. So that's just it for the back part. I will go ahead and cut it out. If you are making a longer one, you will just take it up to the hip measurements. I'll cut that. So this is the back. This is the back part. So this is the back and this is the front. So our next video will be on how to sew the corset. I'll be showing us how to put the corset together. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're here for the first time. I'll see you guys in my next one. Love you all. Bye.